Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brown Boy, and today I want to talk about how I use drum machines with the digitakt. Alright, for today's example I'll be using the Roland TR6S, but this should work with any drum machine with Midi in. And the idea works a little bit differently than how I normally approach Midi on the digitakt. Normally I'll use one channel to send out multiple notes to a single synth. But with this method, I'll use multiple different Midi channels to send out one note, effectively making each Midi channel a trigger. So let me show you how that would work. Each one of these samples is assigned to be triggered by a specific note. This kick drum is assigned to be triggered by 36. On the digitakt, that's going to be C3. On the TR6S, that's going to be C2. But what I'm going to do is go to Midi A and go to the source page, hold down function, and click knob A. That will automatically assign it to Midi channel 1. If you need to, you can scroll through. But the TR6S is assigned to Midi channel 1. So after that, I will go to the trig page and make sure the note that this channel is sending out is 36, and it is, and we get this nice kick drum sound. Then I'm going to go to the next Midi channel, Midi B, do the exact same thing. Hold down function, click down the knob A, and then assign it to Midi channel 1. So all of these channels are going to be going to Midi channel 1. The snare is set to be triggered by 38, so I'll assign this to send out note 38, and so on and so forth for all of these samples. So I went ahead and assigned each sample to a channel on the digitakt. Now I want to build a pattern. Originally I was using this method with my older drum machines, and their sequencers are not as nice as the one that's on the digitakt. But what's nice about the TR6S is it has certain parameters that you can assign to the knobs on the digitakt. So things like the level, the tune, and the decay can all be assigned to the knobs on the digitakt. So let me show you how that would work. What I like to do is I go to the channel that the sample is assigned to. I go over to the filter page, hold down function, and click the knobs to assign them. Then you go over to the amp page and assign the CC value of each parameter that you want to assign. So I want to assign this first knob to the level of the kick drum. That is CC24. So I assign CC24, then I go back over to the filter page, and that should now control the level of the kick drum. And that does. And I can do the same thing with the tuning and the decay of the kick. So the tuning is 20 and the decay is 23. And now these knobs control the decay and the tune of the kick drum, and I can do that for each sample. The advantage of this is that I can then trig lock those parameters to the steps, so I can tune hi-hats and 808s. So I can tune this up just a little bit, and then tune these down a little bit. And then, because this is the digitakt, I can set conditions for the trigs. So I can tell these first ones to only play the first time around, and then the second ones only play the second time around. And that should add just a little bit of variation to your pattern. Another thing that I like to do that kind of helps save space when assigning channels on the digitakt is kind of share duties for one channel for the open and closed hi-hat. So if I want, I can hold down this trig and assign it to the open hi-hat trigger. And that way I don't have to use two channels for the open and closed hi-hat. Kind of convenient. And in that same vein, I don't have to use two different channels for the snare and the clap. I can either stack them or just use one or the other. So just assign the clap to go off without the snare. Very, very convenient. And those are some of the ways that I use digitakt with my drum machine. If you have any techniques that I didn't cover or you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I love answering questions. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll leave a link to all my socials in the description. I'm Brown Boy, and I'll see you in the next one.